kwanza tuko hapa na watangazaji au waandishi kutokea Washington DC ambao wana cover timu ya Wizards kule, so tutaongelea kidogo kuhusu basketball and tutaongelea kuhusu Bradley Beal kidogo na kitu kinachotaka kutokea kule New York Nets. So kabla sijapoteza muda mwingi sana, ngoja wajitambulishe and then tutaendelea. So what's up everybody? All right, so can we do something? Can we start from Bree going all the way to my right? I don't know if it's the same on your screens, but the person right next to me is Bree, Becca, and all that. Can you guys just introduce yourself so everybody could know who you are?
Mambo, Tanzania. This is Bree. I work for Radio 1 DC, and I get to also report on the Washington Wizards. But outside of that, I am a video producer, and so I am really excited to be back here again. I hope you guys are all staying safe, and I'm excited to see everybody. And I have brought some of my friends with me this time. Becca?
Mambo, everyone. I'm Becca. I'm nice to be communicating with you all during these crazy times. I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy. Please take care of yourselves. I'm the director of Wizards Extra, a basketball blog on the Washington Wizards, and we have content daily, and it's a fun ride. Do it with all my girls that are here, and we all have a really great time, and we're excited to share some of our insight with you. And I believe I'm passing the ball to Jay Rochelle.
Hello, Mamba. I am Jay Rochelle. I am a sports reporter for the Round Ball Report. Like Becca said, I get to see these lovely girls often as we cover multiple teams here in the metropolitan area, the Wizards, the Mystics, a little bit the G League. And yes, and I'm a sports journalist outside of that, but I am a reporter for the Round Ball Report.
Mambo. I'm Karita Parks. I'm with Sports Journey. We are an online sports blog covering all Washington, D.C. sports, from the Wizards to the Redskins, the Mystics. I'm an NBA reporter and NFL reporter, and I'm excited to talk to you about the Wizards today.
Pretty cool. And Yule Nani, is that Eric? All right. So,
Mambo vipi Tanzania, mnaendeleaje? It's Eric, back again with Karabani. Yeah, furahi kuwa hapa na nyie, and hoping for great discussions today.
All right, cool. So, okay, let's get into it. First of all, people want to know everything about the Wizards, specifically Bradley Beal and what's going on with Bradley Beal, because this year he jumped from like a 25 point per game player to 30 plus, right? 30 plus per game player. And, you know, he had an incredible run, dropping 50 points back to back, and just kind of like stood out, even though the Wizards are not doing so great. Actually, they're one game out of the playoffs right now, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So
What
we want
5.5.
5.5 games.
5.5 games on the playoffs. They're in the spot out of it. They're 8th seed. I mean, they're the 9th seed, which is the spot out of the playoffs, but they are technically 5.5 games behind. Well, you can say one game. I mean, hey, we can go with that.
We'll take it.
I meant to say one spot away from the playoffs, right? But you're right, 5 games. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Mesikia Tanzania, ndio maana tunaongea nao kwa sababu wanajua exactly nini kinaendelea kule with the Wizards. So, okay, so who is Bradley Beal? Can we start with that? Nani Bradley Beal?
Okay, Bradley Beal ni mchezaji wa Washington Wizards ambaye alikuwa drafted pale mwaka 2012 na hivi karibuni alisaini mkataba wa kuextend wa miaka 2 wa kubaki na Washington Wizards, na amesema kwamba yani yuko tayari kurudi na kucheza na John Wall. And what else did we talk about?
An all-star snub.
Yes.
Yeah, Brad is
Perfect way to put it. All-star snub from St. Louis, Missouri. Went to school in Florida. 1 year, you know, was able to. He committed to the 2000 and don't get me wrong, was it 2015 draft? I think top 3. It was a top 3 draft pick. Put it that way. came in. We've had the chance here in Washington, D.C. to see his game develop into what it is today. Like Becca said, now he is an all-star snub, something that I will never give away and let it go. I think as of the talks around him as of recently have grown because the Washington Wizards have been playing without John Wall for probably the past year and a half. He missed all of this season and stopped playing last season, I want to say in December of 2018. So naturally, being that he is the shooting guard for the team, a lot of the load had come upon him once John Wall had been out to his injury, and we were able to see an emerging star, people that know basketball and know what he was capable of. This may not be that shocking, but for some people who are used to associating the Wizards with a John Wall leadership, it was definitely new to see Bradley Beal, take off the way he's taken off in these past. Technically, he's really been doing his thing for the past 3-4 years, but without John Wall, the spotlight has been centered around him over these past 2 years. So I think that's why he's like I guess you could say, new household name, for lack of better words.
All right, Eric, you have something to say, right?
And again, I don't disagree with the fact that Bradley Beal was an all-star snub. I just wanted to ask so who would y'all have taken off of the Eastern Conference All-Stars for 2020?
Kyle Lowry.
Who?
Oh, my apologies. Kyle Lowry could have went. Bradley Beal should have been it over him. The gentleman out of Indiana, I always have so much trouble saying his name, Sabonis, starts with the D last name.
Domantas Sabonis, yeah.
He could have went. Those are probably my dire what are you doing? But yeah, if I break it down statistically, could have been a couple other people too, but off the rip, Kyle Lowry could have sat out that one. Same with Sabonis. So
I think it was kind of tricky because the Toronto Raptors are the current champions, and I guess it's kind of like you feel like you should have someone from that team in the All-Star lineup, and he's technically their star player, especially since Kawhi left. So yeah, that one was kind of like
the difficult question.
It's crazy how you can be ranked second amongst the players. So your peers, the people that are actually on the court that are competing with you, they've had him second ranked, and he still was snubbed. To me, that just honestly does not make any sense. And he jokingly mentioned in his recent interview on All the Smoke that literally that ammo that he was coming to with every single game when he averaged 30, now with his average of 30.5 a game, was really directed at the coaches, because he felt like it was more so disrespect from them not voting him in than it was his own peers, because he was second ranked amongst players.
He was the only one to put up numbers like that, the way he was with his stats, and never make the All-Star game. Your question is very tricky, because obviously all those players work hard and they all, are deserving. But I mean, it sucks because, at the end of the day, some people aren't going to make it, and it's unfortunate. But to make history as the first guy to score that much and not be an all-star, I mean, that's wild.
I agree with y'all, and like I said, we as we would say in Swahili, it's like ni swali la uchokozi, meaning it was more of a of a ribbing type question, just to try and solicit a response out of y'all. So I fully agree. And with the whole change of the voting, from just straight, from taking it all the way out of the fans' hands and making it part the fans, part the players, and then part coaches, and then that at least puts that takes care of the starting five. But then coaches are always partial. Most of the time, it kind of seems like they're always partial to players from teams with winning records. So it would have been hard either way to compete with Kyle Lowry, just especially coming off of winning the chip the previous year, and the team's record without Kawhi. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying that
there's a lot of politics.
That's what it was.
There is.
There is.
That's hard for me to accept, because I hear it and I'm not disagreeing with you, but you had Trae Young, who was a starter, and he was with Atlanta. The Wizards have had a better record than Atlanta since God knows when, forever.
Fan voting is whack.
You say that.
Yeah, the voting is,
Alex
And
Caruso was being voted in to the All-Star game by the fans, and it's like,
the GOAT.
okay, like, yeah, like, I guess he is cool, but let's be honest with ourselves. You know, the fan vote is not based off of achievements, personal achievements. People don't realize that All-Stars should be selected by their personal achievements, not just, you know, their teams and everything.
The team's
Bradley Beal
achievements,
shouldn't have been penalized because the Wizards are terrible. You know, that's not,
Yeah.
I mean, Alex Caruso and like all that voting stuff, it was just wild to me.
And I don't know.
Yeah, because didn't
I mean,
Devin?
Oh,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I am sorry. Let's get back to Bradley Beal and the Wizards. I love what you guys are saying, and it actually goes hand in hand with the next question that I got for you guys. All right, since you guys are so for Bradley Beal, who is Bradley Beal to Washington, D.C.? Can you please break that down? What does he mean for D.C.? I mean, what does he mean to D.C.?
Bradley Beal ni mchezaji ambaye yani sio tu mchezaji wa Washington Wizards, lakini pia ni mtu ambaye anajihusisha sana na mambo na shughuli za jamii za mjini Washington DC, ni pamoja na kusaidia watoto ambao wanahitaji vifaa vya shule, kusaidia watu ambao labda wamepoteza kazi zao na hawana kipato. Yani yeye pamoja na John Wall yani ni wachezaji wawili ambao yani wanajihusisha sana katika mambo ya jamii ya mjini Washington DC, na ndio na hii pamoja na ukali wao uwanjani inawasaidia, yani ndio inawafanya wapendwe sana na jumuiya ya Washington DC.
I mean, I'll say that I think the fans appreciate his loyalty because you know, just what we were saying, Wizards aren't necessarily considered the most elite team in the NBA, which probably did impact his ability to get on the All-Star team with the whole fan voting situation. You know, they've had a losing record the past couple seasons. I mean, there's many reasons where Brad could have walked away from this team if he really wanted to, and he hasn't, and he stands by the fact that he wants to stay here in DC and he wants to win a championship with the Wizards. So I'll say the fans and the city, I know, appreciates his loyalty, because you don't find a lot of players that are loyal to the city and the team. Like, they go chasing rings, and so far he hasn't done that.
I think he's emulated the way that John Wall has earned his respect here in DC, because John Wall gives back to the community. He's all about DC, and he's also very proud that he plays for the Wizards, even though, like Karita said, they're not like known to be, you know, anything beyond a first round playoff team. And Beal just, he was very loyal. You know, when he signed that extension, he didn't have, or when he signed the max contract, he didn't have to stay. And, you know, when Wall was out, he didn't have to rise to the occasion and become a leader and develop all these skills and be aggressive every single night consistently. So I think that's key, loyalty and, you know, embracing the community to the fullest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the general manager, Tommy Shepard, he said that Brad is the type of person and player that they're proud to build a team around when he did sign that extension. So he's very well respected within the organization too.
And bouncing off of the, you know, his personal side, I met him before I even started covering the team, and I used to live down the street from the arena with my cousin Felicia, and I used to go to this Chinese spot all the time. And I was walking there after a game one day, and Brad got out of his car, and I was just like, "Oh, hey, Brad," and he's just like, "Hey," he was like, "What's up?" Like, just like it was like I was talking to just, you know, my cousin from, you know, down the street or whatever. Like, he was just really chill, really cool. And then now, even with me covering the team and seeing him more often, like, I'm seeing that literally that's how he is. And, you know, his family is really involved. Yeah, like from his recent interview, he was saying he bought laptops for kids that are out of school that might not be able to graduate because they don't have computers at home. And he's just very hands-on. He's very he's outspoken too. Like, even after the whole 50-50 game, I mean the two back-to-back 50-50 games, and he had to do the drug test, he let everybody know about that. Like, he doesn't usually hold back too much, or he's sometimes very careful because, you know, he has to be. But he's very open. I think that a lot of people appreciate that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so bouncing off your answers, I know I'm kind of rushing you guys a little bit here, but I'm trying to mind the time. And bouncing off your answers, what does it mean for DC to hear speculations or rumors about him maybe getting traded or maybe getting shipped off to the Brooklyn Nets?
Well, they're
How does
called
that-
rumors for a reason, right? I mean, everything based off of everything that every one of these women have just said. The organization values Beal, the fans value Beal. Beal values DC. He stated several times that he's not going anywhere. So any rumor that happens, it's just kind of like, we don't take it seriously. I think there's a lot of organizations talking internally about possibly acquiring Beal when the season ends, but who wouldn't want to? So
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Yeah, he was on ESPN too, addressing those rumors here recently. And, you know, he said he takes it as a compliment because it means that he's doing something good and that his game is being noticed across the league. But we hear these rumors like every couple years for that very reason, because he has risen to the occasion, like Becca said earlier. But he also mentioned that he doesn't want to go anywhere because he's built roots here. His family's here, but he said he wants to play with John Wall again. He said, you know, he wants to play with a healthy John Wall and see what they can do together. So I think that that is also key. And, you know, like I said, there are rumors, they keep coming up.
Yeah, he was supposed to be a part of a big three with LeBron and Anthony Davis. Now it's supposed to be him, KD, and Kyrie.
It was Miami before.
Right. So we got a good team here. I mean, of course, there's a lot of things that still need to happen, but it's great to see him very vocal about and reassuring, you know, DC for those who did doubt it. I mean, most of us didn't doubt it, but for those that did doubt it, you know, he's been very vocal.
Na kumekuwa na mazungumzo hapa na pale kwa sababu msimu umesimama. Kulikuwa kuna na mazungumzo, kama mtakumbuka Kyrie Irving msimu uliopita alisema kwamba kwamba the Nets wanahitaji kufanya mabadiliko kidogo na kuongeza wachezaji wengine, yani wenye kipaji cha juu. Kwa hiyo mazungumzo yametokea kuhusu kama Nets wanaweza kumpata Bradley Beal, lakini kwa mazungumzo yetu leo inaonekana kama vile management ya Wizards hawako tayari ishara zote walizoonyesha ni kwamba hawako tayari kumtrade Bradley Beal, na ukiangalia pia hatua alizochukua tangia John Wall ametoka mpaka sasa hivi, amekuwa sana yani kimchezo, na hiyo ndio ilisababisha Washington Wizards kumpa mkataba wa nyongeza wa miaka 2 wa dola milioni 77. Kwa hiyo na kwa Nets in order kumtrade ili kumpata Bradley Beal itabidi ama watafute timu ya tatu au waondoe wachezaji wao wengi ambao yani haitawafanya wawe competitive. Kwa hiyo
okay. Eric, you seem like you had a question, right? You want to jump in?
Yeah. So I mean, obviously we've all heard the rumors as well, and I actually tried to. I mean, usually when you hear a rumor, you tend to, think that wherever there's smoke, there's fire. But the way I look at it, given the fact, given everything you guys have just said, which I also think is spot on. But given the fact that he just signed a 2-year extension for, 76 million, which locks him up all the way through the end of the 2021-22 season, given the fact that, the new GM, has spoken so highly of him, and when you listen, and so both John Wall and Bradley Beal did episodes of All the Smoke with Steven Jackson and
Matt Barnes.
And Matt Barnes, yeah. And they both stated that all that talk about beef and whatnot between the two of them was all BS. So excuse my French, but so given all of that, and the fact that I believe the Wizards are I think they're under the salary cap slightly. So given the fact that they just make this that they just signed him to an extension, all of those actions don't don't point in the direction of a team that's looking to trade someone for the most part. And even if you looked at it, even if they traded him, they would who would
Who
you
would
be
be
able to
worth
trade
it?
it? Exactly.
Yeah.
Because whoever's willing to trade for him, they're not going to give you another star player unless of course you're looking to upgrade and like say a CJ McCollum for Bradley Beal. That might work out from a salary cap perspective, but then
But he's
he would
be part of a blockbuster trade. He's not just like
exactly.
a regular dude. And the Nets would have to give up their whole team to acquire.
They'd have to gut their team.
They'd have to completely. They don't have the salary to be able to afford Beal with having Durant and Irving, and it's just not. It's not possible from a standpoint where we know that Brad wants to stay in DC, but it's also not possible from the financial portion of it, from the net side.
Yeah. It wouldn't. Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense for the Wizards unless they were getting, like a player of equal value back, and you would almost certainly have to involve a third team that's looking to act, that's looking for short-term expiring contracts. And then given the way, given what's happening with COVID and the fact that the salary cap isn't even known, revenue projections for next year aren't even known, teams, I don't see too much trade activity taking place. Between you might see a bit in terms of teams that are looking to shed salary or get under the cap, but you're not going to see too much. I don't think you're going to see that many blockbuster trades, and I don't think Bradley Beal is going to be one of them. So that's just me.
Of all the rumors, I haven't heard any blockbuster trades from the rumors. So until then, I definitely don't see the Wizards giving him up.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
I don't see it.
Nets fans and the Heat fans and the Lakers fans to stop talking trash to us, because it's not possible. Nothing is not possible, but the chances of any of that stuff happening right now is very low.
Speaking on behalf of Laker fans, we gave up on that a long time ago.
All right. Building off that, all right. What is going to happen? I know we heard John Wall, we heard Bradley Beal saying there is no beef, everything is fine and all that. And at the time that John Wall was away, Bradley Beal stepped up and pretty much like what you guys just told us earlier, it almost seems like the team belongs to Bradley Beal. I know, I understand, and I heard it, and we all heard it, that everything is okay. But do you guys believe, does DC believe these two will be able to coexist? We can start with you, Rochelle.
I definitely agree. I definitely think that DC does not believe that there's any tension or anything like that. I feel like that statement, even in itself, the one that you had, I'm going to pluck your nerve really quick, alluding to it being now it's Bradley Beal's franchise. Like, I think those types of statements and comments like that are kind of what give the idea that it's like a running thing. Like they both have, they had both have kind of like alluded to the fact that in their younger days, being immature, before they were mature and grew into the men they are now, they kind of let the outside noise affect, but even then it wasn't like it was like a serious issue. It was, they had let that affect it. But then, they've had a conversation, they've acknowledged, I've done nothing to you, I'm not really mad at you, and vice versa. So I don't think that neither one of them carry or have a particular bone to pick with each other. You know what I mean? I think they both understand they're two alpha males. That's really what it comes down to. They're two alpha males. And, if you're mature about it, two alpha males can coexist in the same place, in the same space, and it not be an issue. But when you're not mature or you let things affect that, then that's when you kind of see a ripple in it. But I don't believe that Washingtonians believe that there is a beef with them. From what I have seen covering them over the past few years, they have much respect, much love for each other. You never sense any tension beyond teammates, just being teammates. But that's not like, it's not like their frustration is ever, narrowed in at each other as much as it is if the team had a bad night, the team had a bad night. That's everybody on the team. It's not really like a Bradley and John type of face-off thing. I've never witnessed that. I can't sit here and stand and say that they have any issue because I have never witnessed that.
Mm-hmm. The national media really pushes that narrative, and it's something that maybe, like Jay Rochelle had said, it has been, when two guys want to have all the, you know, the rewards of like, you know, performing well. They kind of get into this competitive mode with each other, but we don't see them as Wall versus Beal. We see it as two stepbrothers who just want to win. That's really all that it is. The two stepbrothers that want to win, and they want to do everything possible to be successful. And we've seen them play together, and they've gotten into the playoffs. They've been successful. And now that they've matured even more and Brad's developed his game, it's definitely possible for them to go coexist, certainly.
And I think also for John, like just stepping back and watching from the bench and watching him play over these past times, and even like seeing the game from a different perspective will definitely open up your mind to new things. And I think being able, Brad being able to speak to John from a different perspective as well, I think is helping their relationship on the court. But yeah, like Jay Rochelle said, like, I mean, we haven't witnessed anything that we've like seen them fighting in the locker room or anything like that. Like, so as far as we know, no, like there's no tension.
Yeah, for me, I feel like moving forward is going to be a better collaboration because they know like each other's strengths and weaknesses. I think as Becca alluded to, Brad's a different player now. And when John comes back, he will be a different player. So I think that we're going to see great things from them. Like even in The Last Dance, Michael's an excellent, the greatest by himself, but he always said he still needed Scottie Pippen. And I feel like it's the same thing. Same thing with Brad and John. They're great by themselves, but they need each other and they work well together. So
yeah, Brad said that too.
Who is
like,
Scottie Pippen?
I feel like Michael. Well, Brad said it in his interview. He's like, sometimes I feel like Michael Jordan.
So who is going to be Scottie Pippen? That's the question. Who is going to be Scottie Pippen?
It's gonna be nights where Wall's gonna have to be Scottie Pippen and Bradley Beal's gonna be Scottie Pippen. It's gonna be nights where the roles are gonna be reversed.
They take
but
turns.
Being the mature men that they are, they both will know. Being the mature men that they are and having this opportunity to play without each other, they both are going to know when it is, I guess, each other's turn to play the role. Like, right. Which they've done even prior to this, to be honest. I mean, because as I stated before, Bradley Beal has never really had a season of bad numbers, you know, excluding his years when he got injured and had to have time off and stuff like that. When Bradley Beal and John Wall both were on the court at the same time, I mean, they both were producing at high levels, you know. So it's not like, you know, Bradley Beal is a ball dominant player, so that's gonna, you know, step on the toes of the point guard. I mean, it's not like that at all. John Wall's court vision is amazing, and you know, he knows what to do to get him when he needs the ball, and vice versa. So I think it'll be nights where both of them will have to be the Pippen and both of them will have to be MJ. You know, it's gonna change. You're just gonna have to follow.
Retweet.
Sorry, so Tanzania wote tumeelewa sasa hivi kama siasi nafanya kazi kila siku. That's the way we do it. Okay.
Thanks for having us. It was
thank you.
fun.
Real pleasure meeting y'all guys. Hope.
Thank you so much.